All right, everybody, welcome back. Philip Rispoli here, mydigitallisting.com. A little yabba dabba do for the good times. Hey, listen, last week we talked about interest rates and inflation, but I also told you that on Friday we're going to have in one of our top mortgage brokers that we've been doing business with for almost 11 years. He has 26 years of experience, and we had him in on our radio show. Now, we don't film our radio show anymore, but what we did do, and you'll see a picture of it behind me, we did an animated version of it, and we did it in two parts. The first part of the radio show, we just talked about mortgage, the business, and what's going on in it over the last year, and our mortgage broker will explain exactly what's going on in the business and what's happening with the rates today, inflation, and so on and so forth. Part two was done to talk about consumer confidence, and that's really an important part too. You really need to listen to both parts because it'll put everything into perspective for this first quarter that is going to be finished out here in this March timeframe. So to go view those podcasts and those YouTube videos, go to our YouTube channel. It's located at My Digital Listing up on YouTube. Go like, subscribe, and share, and enjoy them, and everything will be really cool. So today what I want to talk about, today is March 1st, and we want to talk a little bit. I don't talk about national data, but I want to go back and talk about national data because it's starting to shape up in a little bit different format. And the first thing I'm going to do, you're going to see a chart that goes up, and this chart is going to be existing pending counts in home contracts. And as of today, nationally, we have 319,000 homes under contract. And a year ago, we had 404 homes under contract. That's a decrease of 21%. So that number may not sound like a big number, but in terms of volume, it's a huge number out in the marketplace. And that'll become important as we continue to walk and talk about this in more detail. The next number I want to talk about is inventory, and I've been talking about our local inventory and talking about it slightly increasing, and it's been doing it at a very slow rate, but the national inventory is real important, and we're going to have this chart go up live. And the inventory here, if we go back to January and this time last year in 19, excuse me, we had 821,000 homes that were on the market. And if we go back to this time in March in 2022, we had 244,000. So we had 25% of the inventory in the market. Today, we're at 429,000, so we're about 50%. And in the last week, we're declining. So I talked last week about our local inventory that we were still inclining, going to about 70, 73, and our local data is showing that we just started to dip the other way. So we're starting to decrease our inventory here in our local 33955 and 33950 area. So that's important to note. That means that the homes that are selling, we don't have enough inventory replacing it and replenishing that what we have in there. Another important national piece of data that I want everybody to hear about is the new listing data that's out in the marketplace. So new listings as of today, March 1st, at the national level is 60,000 new listings. And what's important about that is how many new listings went pending immediately. And out of that 60,000, 14,000 homes went pending immediately. Contrast that to a year ago, March in 2022, 73,000 listings were on the market and 24,000 went to immediate sales. So we can see that we have far fewer listings coming to the market nationally and far fewer listings immediately going to sales. So that means that there's less buyers out there, there's less homes out there. You know, we could see why, you know, interest rates going up, inflation going up, buyers are hanging out on the sidelines. Now what we'll do is we'll take a brief second and we'll talk a little bit about our local data. Today It's baseball. It's your time, buyers. It's your time at bat. That's right. You now have choice. There's more homes on the market. It's your time to get up, to take a look, to give us a call at 941-219-5659 and knock it out of the park. Yabba dabba do. All right, listen, we're back here, and let's just talk briefly about our local data now. And I want to talk about the 33955 and 33950. So one of the things in the 33955 that I found real interesting is the new listings that came on the market jumped up dramatically in the new listing price. Last week, I think we were just creasing 599,000, and we're up. That's around 600,000. We're at 709,000 for new listings. So we've got less listings on the market, but the listings that are coming on the market, the new ones, are jumped up in price. So I'm not sure what to make of that just yet, other than the new ones are more expensive out there. The median list price is 597. So that was what the average price was coming on the market last week. So that's interesting. The price per square foot is still sitting around the same, around $300 a square foot. The median days on the market is sitting at 49. The price decrease has gone up just a little bit. Last week we were sitting at 47% of the market, and now we're at 49%. So again, 50% of the market is sitting out there. But what I do want to show you is this chart here, and we're going to put that up on the screen as well. This chart here is showing you broken down into segments, of homes from $1 million, 600,000, 500,000, and 300,000, and showing you the different percentages of those that are actually being reduced. Each one of those different segments are certain percentages being reduced differently. So it's important to know that it's not just a generic amount that's coming down. Another piece is just to talk a little bit about our inventory here. The inventory is on average between 68 for the 7-day, and on the 90-day, 62. This is what that chart looks like, and so we'll pass that chart around, and you'll see it behind us on the big screen. So that's what I've got for the local data. The other thing that made a big thing, and we talked about it on the mortgage, is what the mortgage rates are. They're sitting up there close to that 7%, if not at that 7%. More importantly, anybody buying a second home, they're going to pay another pinch, which is another 0.5% or another percent, so you're going to be close to that 8%. Another piece of data that I saw that came out, and this data is back from January, and it's data that came from NAR, the National Association of Realtors. Their data comes out pretty late. It's usually anywhere between 4 and 6 weeks behind some of the data that we're presenting to you. But they showed that only 29% of the homes that were purchased for January were purchased with cash. And if you look at the mortgage data that are on those podcasts that you can go look up on our YouTube video, you'll see that for the beginning of this year, 41% reduction in the mortgage applications. You take that and you dovetail that with only 29% of the deals being done in cash, that leaves you with not a lot of room for mortgage applications out there for new buyers. So anyway, that's what we've got for you this week. Take a look at our YouTube site. Like, share, subscribe if you like this information. And we'll talk to you next week with the freshest update we can give you. Have yourself a great day.